It only happens once a year. And now, it's time. Join BSN at the 2012 Mr. Olympia Expo. The ultimate fan experience has arrived. Be a part of it at the BSN booth.
This is Dave Palumbo with RxMuscle.com. I am here at the 2012 IFBB Olympia weekend. I am here with Chris, the technician, Aceto, Ruth Silverman of IRONMAG magazine, and Aaron Jubaka-Singerman, and we're going to do the entire women's wrap-up here of the women's bodybuilding, fitness, and bikini festivities here at the Olympia in Las Vegas, Nevada. Iris Kyle, the talk of the night, 8 times Miss Olympia now. She ties Linda Murray's record. Ruth, was it even a contest?
Not for me, man. The minute Iris came out, it was lights out, game over. I mean, everyone looked great. Most of the women at the top looked great. There were a lot of shredded women. Of course, they worked it out so that the champs came out last. And so Iris came out, and I thought, forget it, ladies. She really brought it, as usual. And she looked fabulous.
Is Iris Kyle the best woman bodybuilder of all time, in your opinion,
No,
Chris?
I don't think she's the best woman bodybuilder. I think Linda Murray's the best woman bodybuilder of all time, but I think she's the second best, and she's got the longest, streak.
She's tied, but she actually has a half of a win because she won the heavyweight class. I don't remember what year that was where they had a heavy and a light.
2000 or 2001, one of those.
She lost the overall, but
to Bergman.
To Juliette Bergman. So she technically has 8.5 wins.
Right.
I thought that this was the best Iris I had seen in a while. I think it was good for her to have taken off the international. I know she had an injury, but I think it was good for her body.
Absolutely. She brought it. I was afraid she wasn't going to bring it. She's very involved in her business right now, and that kind of tends to be distracting even for a champ like Iris. But she kind of dropped off the map the end of the summer, and man, she looked good. She's got and one thing that strikes me about Iris is that her skin quality is so beautiful.
Yeah. And I don't even know how old is she? Is she 38 or something?
Something around mid to late 30s. Yeah.
Aaron Jubaka?
I think she's 40 plus.
No, she's not 40 plus.
No, I think she's 40.
Because a few years ago she was the youngest one.
I thought she was 40.
Let's talk about Debbie Leshevsky, whom probably should get the Most Improved award here. I mean, no one would have ever expected, if we talked about this a couple years ago, that Deb Leshevsky would be second place at the Miss Olympia. What, in your mind, Ruth, pushed her past Yakseni Oroquin into a spot that we thought she'd never be in?
Damn, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I would not have had her in second. Should I say that?
Chris, what about you? Would you agree with Ruth?
No, I mean, you could make the argument, surely, that she was second based on great condition. What the knock against her is that there's something going on with the torso, and there's always been something going on with the torso. And I think that here she was lean enough where that was able to be keenly hid under the condition, and the judges rewarded it.
5'2", 146 pounds of muscle, Aaron. Do you think that might be what the problem is? She's got a lot of thick muscle all over.
Absolutely. And like Chris said, there's something always that I've noticed about her torso, and she's in such good condition that maybe that was being able to be overlooked by the judges this time.
I want to say something about Yakseni Oroquin, and I think Chris will agree with me. She was very flat at the prejudging, the most conditioned I'd ever seen her. I thought it was kind of a slap in her face to put her in third. I probably would have had her in second because, as you said, she was a slice of pizza really away from being a dominant second place here.
Yeah, I mean, she probably... I think the issue for her is to beat Iris, she's got to try. I think she's over-trying, and by that, she's trying to get so ripped, it takes away from
her shape.
And, she was obviously better at the night show than she was in the morning show, which means she was fuller. But she was just she was just so damn flat and prejudging that it was, when she came out, I was like, she gave the show away.
One of the girls that I was very impressed with, and I think she's an underrated bodybuilder, is Elena Popa, who the crowd went crazy when she got fourth. I think they thought she should have been first.
I would have had her possibly second or third. I mean, maybe that was my expectation going into it, that she could actually get to second. She put on a little size. She put about 5 pounds of size. So we've been watching her getting bigger and fuller at every show. I thought she looked spectacular.
Second place, Aaron?
She's my favorite. Elena Popa is my favorite.
Where would you have had her?
If it were me and I was judging, I would have had her win. I mean, Iris Kyle is way bigger, way better condition, but my preference is Elena Popa has a femininity that is missing from female bodybuilding. So, to me, if I was the judge, I would have had her winning.
Brigitte Brejovic, who I thought had beautiful lines and great conditioning. She needed to get a little bigger. I think she almost overdid it. Chris, what was your impression of her in fourth place? I thought I like her better, a little smaller.
Yeah, I mean, she got something with the she got boxier.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So I mean, it's you know, for a woman bodybuilder to be extremely competitive at the level like this, you have to have crazy V taper. And that's why we probably don't prefer the girl who got second over some of the other ones we're talking about. But so she got boxy.
Agreed?
Absolutely agreed. Yes.
Sheila Bleck, sixth place. Chris, I know you like her. I helped her. She's got some of the craziest details. She really reminds me, she's a throwback to the 80s, 90s bodybuilder. She reminds me of Diana Dennis when she poses on stage. She's probably one of the most entertaining poses. She's always does something creative. Where did you have her, and what does she need to do to move up?
She's not boxy, and she's fabulous. She just needs, you know, to keep on doing what she's doing. I mean, she was harder, maybe a tad harder earlier in the year, but this is a better look for her, and yet she probably is disappointed because she didn't place quite where she thought. You know, if she might have, with this roundness and this crazy V-taper, was a little bit harder, she could land second or third in a show like this.
I agree. Let's talk about the Fitness Olympia. Adela Garcia sets another record, 7 times Miss Fitness Olympia. Ruth, will that ever be broken, that streak?
We don't know.
Will fitness be around next year?
I hope so. The way these Canadian girls are coming into the sport, and they look pretty good. I mean, we've got more Canadian pros on the stage, more Canadian coming. I think fitness is alive. I think we'll have it for a few more years at least. And Adela, she won the minute she walked on stage.
I actually picked Oksana Grishina to win, and I told Adela, and her boyfriend admitted, or her husband admitted to me that she was mad that I said that. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of disappointed with Oksana's routine. I thought she used a routine that she's used 2 or 3 times before. Mm-hmm. It was old. I don't think it had the wow factor. I think she needed to bring a routine that was dynamite. I thought she also needed to bring conditioning that was dynamite to really unseat Adela, and she didn't do it. Adela brought an original routine. Her physique was the best I'd seen her, and I think she deserved it, and I take my hat off. I was wrong.
I agree with you. I too think Oksana Grishina will be the next Fitness Olympia champ.
If Adela ever retires.
If Adela ever retires. I think when we talked earlier, I do not think there's anything wrong with Oksana's routine. I think it just didn't have the wow factor because we saw it before.
A couple times.
Yeah, a couple times. And so that was the reason that it didn't seem to have the wow factor because it was excellently executed.
Aaron?
I was disappointed with Oksana Grishina's routine and her physique. I like her harder.
Me too.
I like her harder, and maybe the judges don't like her harder. The routine was lackluster, and I think Adela deserves it.
Oksana was not in the first call-out. So the fact that she took second was they must have liked her routine. It did get scored hard, but I think that she could have possibly beaten Adela had her physique been higher in the physique round.
Well, Oksana is fighting the same thing we were talking about with the bodybuilders. She's a little boxier too. She doesn't have those ideal lines. She's improved so much over the years, but I think she's standing next to Adela. She's never going to win that physique round.
One of the best physiques on stage, Tina Durkin.
Oh, yeah.
Third place. Aaron, were you impressed?
Yeah, I liked her routine. I actually liked her routine. Maybe the best. I thought her, what makes a good fitness routine is the tempo and the speed that they go and the fact that the tempo stays consistent. And one of the things she did was I mean, look, when you saw her, she finished. She was excited because she knew she did good.
I mean, Ruth, can Tina Durkin do figure and do well? I think that she would be one of the top figure competitors.
I think she would too, but you need to know that she really was challenged to improve on in her routine because she always had a pretty good routine, but not good enough, and she wanted to take it to the next level. I was mightily impressed with her tonight.
She was great. Let's talk about the Bikini Olympia, where the bikini division seems to be going crazy because last year Nicole Negrani was the champ. She was, a 4th or 5th place at the International, and Sonia Gonzalez took that crown. Sonia comes in, 6th place here.
Yeah.
Negrani has to settle for 2nd, and Natalia Mello wins. What was your impression of what these judges are doing with the bikini division?
They're giving everyone a turn. They can't decide on an enduring champ right now. I mean, it's only the 3rd Bikini Olympia. We've had 3 Bikini Olympia champs because Sonia won the first one.
Right.
And I don't know. I kind of like Diana for it. So
Diana who?
Diana Dahlgren, who got 4th. So
I love that. Well, let's before we go there, I want to just ask you, because I know you like Natalia Mello. You don't even watch bikini usually, but you always tell me you like her. Was that the right decision tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was the right decision.
Why? Why do you like her?
Because because as a quote layperson on the outside, if you take the top 6 girls and put them in a Miami bar, and this sounds totally derogatory, put them on the beach. most of the men who would say that's the best bikini body up there would probably pick her.
They wouldn't pick the Paulino?
And now, I want to just segue to Aaron Singerman for a second.
Yes.
Come to me. I'm going to stand over here.
I'll
Wondering
step
what's going
back.
Number one, do you agree with the win for Mello?
Yes, Nathalia Mello is a woman, okay? And so that's what Chris is saying. The other, as much as I like, Nicole Negrani, as much as I like her personally, she's still, to me, she's a teenager. She's a kid, she's 19.
She's going to be 21, actually.
Okay, well, whatever. She still looks like a kid to me up there. You look at Nathalia, and that's a woman. And what Chris is saying is absolutely right. If you bring her to the beach, in Miami especially, but any other beach, they're going to look at Nathalia, and they're going to be like, wow. And so I do have her definitely in first.
I actually thought Nicole Negrani brought the best look I've seen her bring. So it was kind of, in my mind, confusing that the judges would have liked her last year, and then this year they don't. But I guess, change is in order, and, maybe it's a change for the better. Let's talk about India Paulino. A lot of people were talking about her, Ruth, as possibly being the next champion. I think that she might have thought that she was going to win after prejudging. Even some of her coaches thought that might have been the way they were going to go. But it wasn't to happen on this day. She settles for third. What did you think of India?
I love India. She's got such a joy. She's a sexy girl. She's got a great figure, but there's something just fun about the way when she does that little kick. I wouldn't have been unhappy if she had won tonight. Nathalia's a good champ. They're all good. I'd be shocked if the scores were close. It wouldn't surprise me.
Now, Aaron, I like blondes. Diana Dahlgren, when she gets made up, she looked like Farrah Fawcett to me today with the hairdo. I was, and Chris, you said this before, on the beach, or no, Ruth, you said it to me, on the beach, who would look the best? I think, Diana Dahlgren is going to get a lot of eyes with that blonde hair.
You know what? I honestly thought coming into this that India was going to win. I felt like that was the way things were looking towards. Yeah. Diana Dahlgren in fourth place. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl, and I could see her winning. I wouldn't have been that surprised if she won either. But on the beach in Miami, we're definitely going with Nathalia Mello.
You know what the truth is? What we're saying right here is that the top four in bikini, any one of those girls could have won on any day. And you know what? Like you said, Ruth, Diana could win next year. They seem to be switching it up, and who knows what the next look is going to be.
And what's wrong? Is there one thing wrong with her body?
Absolutely not.
There you go.
I got to just say that, first of all, Jamie Baird in fifth place looked awesome. The girls, what's happened in bikini in the last 3 years is now we have a whole group, all these 30 girls, almost every one of them was really hot. They're all beautiful, beautiful girls. So now it becomes a lot of people, it's preference. You bring my mom and dad here, they might pick totally different girls.
Same judges, though, are changing their minds. So Sonia Gonzalez, the Ms. International champion, has to settle for sixth place. It just tells you how good this lineup was here tonight. All the women, spectacular. 7 times for Adela Garcia, 8 times for Iris Kyle, 1 time for Nathalia Mello. For now, I'm Dave Palumbo with Chris Aceto, Ruth Silverman, and Aaron Singerman for RxMuscle.com.